Man, this video was supposed to come out today, recorded last night, but I had to jump on TD's panel. What is up, Finn fans? Yes, finally gonna get that reaction video I was telling you guys about. A while back, I think a week or two ago, put out a poll asking you guys, hey, would you guys want me to do more reaction videos, more stuff like that? And emphatically, you guys said yes. So last night I was going to record this video and upload it today, but then I saw TD was chatting about some things, and I'm listening, and I'm in the chat room like I normally am, supporting my guy, and he drops the link. So I'm like, I'll let you guys get in there, the guys that want. Then Steven from Miami Sports Music, check him out, jumps in. So I'm like, all right, fine. I'm going to jump in for like 5 minutes, and then we get out of there. I want to record this video. I jump in. Then all of a sudden, Ball Game jumps in. And then all of a sudden, EM jumps in. Then all of a sudden, Reason jumps in. And we were on there for about 2 hours. So if you haven't yet, go check that video out. But yes, today I'm going to be breaking down and reacting to the NBC Sports Talk came out with a video, how good is Miami Dolphins roster compared to others? And I've been wanting to do a reaction to this video, so we're going to do that reaction video. I'm going to talk about what happened yesterday, which was nothing in 2 seconds, but I got to shout out my new Patreon, Miami Football Talk. Thank you so much for joining the Patreon. So yesterday was June 1st. And, a lot of us were like, I thought stuff was going to happen yesterday. I thought, the Julio trade was going to potentially happen. I thought you see a lot more players get cut, re-signed, restructured, all that stuff. Nothing happened yesterday. As of me recording right now, 1:42 p.m., nothing has happened. Dolphins haven't signed anyone, any of that. But I'm hearing that they do have somewhat of an interest in KJ Wright, the linebacker that was with the Seattle Seahawks. I'm hearing the Dolphins, Colts, the Eagles, and the Packers have interest in him. 31-year-old linebacker. I don't know. He'll probably play the middle linebacker position. And if he gets signed, I'll do a bigger, more in-depth look at him. And then also, this will be comment of the day, Zachary Patterson hits me up and says, why is it taking so long to sign Melvin Ingram? And I'm thinking it's because Melvin Ingram is more, I think they'll sign him if they need to. But again, no one is going after him. No one is throwing money at him. He met with the Chiefs. Nothing happened in that aspect of it. I'm also thinking, I'm hearing Agba contacted Chris Greer about a potential, contract extension. So I'm hearing maybe the fact of bringing in Melvin Ingram kind of is like, well, we don't really need you, bud. So we'll see. I'd like to keep Agba, and I'd also like to sign Melvin Ingram to a cheap, vet minimum contract. But as of right now, no big news has happened with the Dolphins signing anyone, restructuring anyone, giving anyone contract extensions. If that does happen, you guys know I will give you a breaking news video. But I just wanted to talk about that, get the comment of the day in there. And then we are going to do a reaction to NBC Pro Football Talk. How good is Miami Dolphins roster compared to others? So let me minimize myself and let's react.
Yeah, it's hard to tell until we start to see it. This is a team that's trying to bust through that. Brian Flores, I think, has been a great coach, and I think he's got the potential
Just so you guys know, I'm going to be
one of the
stopping.
best coaches in football.
Just so you guys know, I'm going to be stopping and reacting. So I'm going to have the full video, if you guys want to see it, linked in the description, because that's the whole point of a reaction video, is to get my reaction. I'm going to pause it.
Football, but they've got to find a way to take the next step. Last year, it felt like they were going to take it. They just fell short of qualifying for that 7-team field in the AFC, and this year they got to get over the top. Let's take a look at their position groups. Look, we know where they are at quarterback. They're going to ride with Tua, we think. Jacoby Brissett, not on the field unless Tua Tagovailoa is injured. But at the running back position, we heard from...
He said, I think, and I think the reason that he said that and implemented that is because of Deshaun Watson. But this video was released on May 18th, which was about a week or two ago. And it seems like the Deshaun Watson trade rumors with any team is kind of dead until next year. So they're running with Tua.
Myles Gaskin. They have Malcolm Brown, Salvon Ahmed, Jared Dokes, a rookie. What...
Nothing jumps out. No, it's underwhelming. It's almost.
Isn't this what the Patriots have done? No, Brian Flores comes from New England. It's a revolving door of guys that have a role and there isn't that stud every down tailback on the roster.
Exactly right. I think that's exactly what it is there. You know, they got a guy like Malcolm Brown who's been around and done that. They'll be able to trust him. The Salvin Ahmed, you know, he did a good job last year. But you're right. I don't think you're ever going to see them stuck with a big money running back there in Miami. It is the New England approach. Wait, this week we want to go outside and run outside zone more. All right, let's use our running back that's good at doing that. You know, this week we're going to run, you know, in between the guards and pull linemen. All right, this running back's better at doing that. You know, this is going to be a pass game week. Yeah, I would think that's kind of the platooning they're going to do there. But I still think it's going to be an important part of their team. I have a hard time thinking Flores, defensive coach, all the assets they've put in to, you know, it's first round, second round offensive linemen all over that offensive line there, to where I would think they're going to run the ball, and it's going to be a major part of how they play overall on a week-to-week basis.
And, you know, when you...
Yeah, and if you look at our running back core, like they said, and I don't disagree with what they're saying, it's not sexy. It's not the big, you know, Kamara, CMC. It's not. But don't be surprised if it really gets the job done. Don't be surprised.
You look beyond the running backs, the receivers, they got some impressive talent.
Yeah.
Now, you got to keep them healthy.
Yeah.
They added Will Fuller, who's still got to do the back end of a PED suspension and then stay healthy after that. Devontae Parker's been a guy who's been up and down, but lately it feels like more up than down. Jalen Waddle, they pounced on him with the 6th overall pick in the draft. They've got Jakeem Grant, Lynn Bowden, Albert Wilson, who had his moments in Kansas City.
That's right.
Mike Gesicki and Durham Smythe, Hunter Long, a rookie at tight end. They got some decent targets for Tua Tagovailoa. It's not quite the Daniel Jones no excuses crew,
but it's close.
But it's a pretty good group.
Yeah, agreed. You're right. That's the best way to put it. It's not like no excuses, but you can't look at it anymore and go, oh, man, they need help. But there's issues here. You know, you're right. I mean, Devontae Parker, it's 2 years in a row of very high-level play. You just got to stay healthy all the way, like you're talking about. Preston Williams is another guy that, you know, pops for them when he's healthy and does things. Gesicki, you mentioned him. He's really talented. You know, so, yeah, there is weapons. Hey, Matt Collins isn't a bad back-end guy. There's plenty of depth here. I mean, I think when you just take Preston Williams, Devontae Parker, Jalen Waddle, that's a pretty impressive 3. And then when William Fuller gets back in the mold, or in the rotation there, whoa! I mean, that's 4 guys where you got 2 guys with great size, 2 other guys who can really
tuned into Christopher Walken real quick, but yeah, and that is the thing that a lot of people have been saying. You look at the Miami Dolphins wide receiver core; it is talented. It has a ton of talent, to the point where us fans and us people who, you know, make these YouTube videos and analyze the depth chart in film and stuff, have a very hard time picking who to cut, because that's how deep this wide receiving core is. So one of the strengths.
Fly and put pressure on a defense vertically and all those type of things. I think it's, you know, not a top 5 group, but I think it's top half in the league as far as that's concerned.
I'd say top 10. When healthy, I'd say top 10.
It's definitely a group of receivers that will give Tua Tagovailoa opportunities to become the guy that they thought he was going to be when they made him the 5th overall pick in the draft. The offensive line is a key component to whatever they're going to do, run the ball, pass the ball, as it always is, and the better they are, the more they're overlooked, unless they're dominant. But for just a good offensive line, you never even pay attention, because you're paying attention to the guys running the football, passes. Where do you put their group in relation to everyone else?
Well,
this is probably your starting offensive line right here. Makes sense. So, you know, these are your bookends. You got Mr. Incredible over here, Liam Eichenberg, Austin Jackson, who, you know, did he have a fantastic rookie year? No. But was he horrible? No. There was worse left tackles taken in the first round than him. Solomon Kinley, when he came in for Eric Flowers at left guard, did fantastic against the Patriots. Robert Hunt is more of a right guard than he is a right tackle. And then you got Matt Skura, who we brought in, who had, you know, like people constantly bring up, top 5 in pass blocking and run blocking win percentage, but just had that injury and has to deal with that stuff. But this is going to be your starting offensive line.
It's like a potential group. I think the way is, I look at it right now as far as got like young budding talent to where you kind of saw it coming together at the end of last year. And, that's where you just look at it and go, wow, I mean, this is a pretty damn good group across the line there. Get a Matt Skura in there to be a little veteran leader at the center position coming from Baltimore. But I think everything else, I mean, wow, what's not to say or like about it? And really, like, Jesse Davis was a guy that we don't have on that graphic there because they drafted Liam Eichenberg in the second round. Jesse Davis was really good for them last year. I would think he's going to start, and Liam Eichenberg is going to be at the guy that's going to have to earn his way there. So their offensive line, like, again, another one, maybe like the receivers, Mike, where you just go, it's not top 5 in football, but it's very talented and top half. And maybe at the end of this year with those young guys and everything like that, it does get into the borderline top 5 conversation. It has that type of potential, and I think that's why you should be excited about that group for sure.
They get their chance right out of the gates to show what they can do against New England week 1. I think they play the Patriots week 1 and week
18. Yeah.
Start
18.
the season,
right.
End the season. That week 18, that's harder for me than adjusting 8-8 to 8-9 or 9-8 or 6-11 or whatever else adds up to 17. The front 7 defensively: Christian Wilkins, Raekwon Davis, Emmanuel Ogbah.
So they have the Dolphins not getting 10 wins. All right, we'll see how the season goes.
Drew Van Ginkel, Jerome Baker, Bernardrick McKinney. Where are they in your estimation relative to the rest of the NFL?
11th in the NFL.
The front 7, it's got it all. I mean, for me, the only thing it was missing was a pass rusher, and they got the best pass rusher in the draft in the top 20 picks with Jalen Phillips. They killed it. But there's nothing.
Bring those jerseys back, please, Miami. Miami, if you're watching this, please bring those jerseys back. Look how nice those jerseys are.
Nothing to look at to where you look at their football team on the front 7. They got versatility, they got size, they got speed, they got everything as far as that's concerned. Another good defensive end in Emmanuel Ogbah who can do everything. You see him there hitting the Bengals quarterback. But I think that Flores has this defensive roster just where he wants it. It's very New England-y, where, oh, wait, we're playing a team this week that likes to do 3 and 4 receivers. All right, we got the secondary to match up, and all these linebackers, we can move them all around and do that. Oh, now this week we're playing the Ravens, and we need to get big and stop the run. Hey, no problem. We got Christian Wilkins, who we drafted in the first round a few years ago, and Raekwon Davis, a second-round pick from 2 years ago in Alabama, where I go, good luck moving those 2 big suckers in the middle. So they got it all. And then got a Bernardrick McKinney in a trade to be their Dante Hightower thumping middle linebacker. That's where I keep coming back to the phrase of, like, the Dolphins of, like, brilliant roster building, brilliant vision for the team.
This is rare. Not saying Chris Sims, because Chris Sims is more, he makes me laugh with his quarterback assessment, because if you go back and look at his quarterback assessment throughout the years, hasn't been fantastic. But this is rare for national media to be saying such good things about the Dolphins.
With the coach and the GM of just coming together, and I mean, it just, to me, it's building a masterpiece down here as far as the way the coach coaches and what he wants to go along with it.
Yeah, and it really does feel like a lot of that New England DNA in the division, and the Dolphins trying their damnedest to compete with the Patriots and the Bills and hold off the Jets while they're at it. You mentioned the secondary. Byron Jones, Xavier Howard, Justin Coleman, Eric Rowe, Javon Holland, and Jason McCourty just signed recently in free agency. Good enough on the back end?
I mean, special. I think it's special. When you take, Byron Jones, Xavier Howard, their first-round pick from 2 years ago, out of Auburn. I'm not going to say his name because I'm scared to say it. Noah Igbinoghene.
That's not even close.
You guys know I am absolutely horrible at pronouncing names, but for Chris Sims, Noah Igbinoghene, I got that one. Come on.
Yeah, I know it's not.
That's not even close.
Either way, he did really well. You got them. They drafted a Javon Holland in the second round who for my money, was one of the 2 or 3 best safeties in the draft. I mean, it's just like the front 7. They got everything you want. Okay, you want to play 4 receivers? Oh, we got 4 DBs. We can match you up, play man-to-man. We can still blitz, do all these crazy things, Oh, we got extra safeties because it's only 2 receivers, and maybe you got some versatile tight ends. There's really not a weakness.
That's the other thing you got to remember. With Travis Kelce and with Waller, what they did to us last year, that might be the main reason we're bringing in so many, versatile safety / corners to be able to maybe even double. We're playing them week 3, double them.
There that I look at that pops out to you. I think the cornerback position's as strong as there is in football as far as a team is concerned. Safety was one you looked at a little bit, but with the drafting of Holland and Eric Rowe back there, it's pretty damn group down there. Pretty damn good group they got down there in Miami.
Your pronunciation of the name was so bad, it had the effect on me.
What is it?
No, Igbenogany. It's Igbenogany. Yeah. But it had the effect temporarily of that little red light in Men in Black where it erases your brain. Like you erased
neuralizer.
You erased the proper pronunciation from my mind, and I had to regroup.
Look into this little red light.
Look
over here.
Sorry, Noah.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. I don't mean to be disrespectful when I do that. I need practice with names like that sometimes, and then I choke on live.
See, man. National television personalities and analysts and ex-NFL players mess up on names. Give me a break. And I got Noah Igbenogany, and I got Tua Tagovailoa.
Live TV.
Come on.
So sorry.
All right. So overall, I'm fascinated about what the Dolphins can do. We saw some flashes too.
Yeah.
I really wish, and Brian Flores said this last year. I really wish they would go back to the old uniforms. They are the one team whose alternate uniforms are so much better. Like it's night and day difference between the alternate uniforms and the regular uniforms.
Yep.
And Flores wants the old uniforms, and he's made it clear that this is a Stephen Ross decision. Stephen, if you're listening, and if you are, God, how did you get so successful if you're watching us? But if you're listening, go back to the old uniforms. That one stinks. It stinks. The other one is awesome.
I don't mind. This is the one you like right here,
awesome.
Right? With the gray face mask and all that. I mean, I'm with you. I like that better. The stripes, the gray face mask. I mean, that's special. That's, Zonka and Bob Greasy to me.
The logo. It's the logo,
The logo
is
great.
Old school Dolphin. Embrace it. The Dolphin
I can
wearing
say
the helmet. He's ready
emphatically,
to play.
You're right.
about 98% of us
That's
want those
Super
jerseys
Bowls
back.
when they were wearing that. So I don't know. You're right. I'd probably, err on going back to that as well. But really, Mike, I mean, we just talked about their team, and we kind of talked about them in pretty glowing fashion there. Like, what do you expect? They have a tough first 5 games, and my computer just crapped out on me, and I can't pull up the schedule right now. But I know it's tough because I remember. There we go.
There it is.
Look at that. Kristen on the spot.
Tough, but can be done. Last year, when the season started, I heard, you have to face Seattle, you have to face the Cardinals, you have to face the 49ers, you have to face the Rams, you have to face the Chargers. That's going to be tough. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to beat those teams. We lost to one of them in Seattle, and that's because we couldn't score a touchdown, and we let them score before the half. Looking at this schedule, these first 5 games are extremely winnable. Beat the Patriots with Cam. Yes, they added some more talent in the tight end situation. Buffalo in Miami last year, week 2. We were very close to winning that game with a few dropped interceptions. We beat the Raiders. Colts, a completely different team than 2019, but Carson Wentz doesn't scare me and can definitely beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with our defense. This might be a defensive game right here. So, yeah, you say, though, the first 5 are scary, but then after that, winnable. Like, come on.
But what are you feeling from this team this year? You thinking playoffs for sure?
Well, we are going to learn a lot from them the first 5 weeks of the season.
Yeah.
They go to London.
I agree with
week
that.
6,
I agree with that.
And they don't have a bye right after it. Peter King explained in Football Morning in America they didn't want a bye after it. They come back and they play the Falcons, who are coming off of a bye post their game in London. The Dolphins are one of the teams that have that very late Week 14 bye. But, yeah, we're going to find out a lot from them early. Now, it could be a thing where they kind of fall off, but then the schedule softens. Jaguars, Falcons, Texans, Jets, and maybe they make a run late. But, hey, that's not an easy schedule. I think that they're one of these teams that I'm going to be watching, though, to bust through to the playoffs because every year there's turnover.
Yep.
There's 7 spots now, and this is a team that almost made it last year. It all comes down to Tua, though. This is either going to be Tua steps up and becomes the guy they thought he was going to be and matches Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert, or the Dolphins decide after this year, let's use some of that draft capital that we continue to build, and let's go out and either trade for Deshaun Watson or maybe one of the other guys who ends up being disgruntled. But Deshaun Watson, I think, continues to be at the top of the list.
Yeah.
And you still can't – think about this. How would you feel about the Dolphins if you found out by the 4th of July that they were trading for Deshaun Watson?
Oh, I mean, it's to me, then it's like, whoa, they could be a Super Bowl contender. You know, I don't want to say it's like it's a Super Bowl contender, but I almost feel a little bit like Brady and the Bucks, a little bit like, whoa, the team's talented. Can they just come together, you know, in time and get it all together in time to not lose too many games and still get in the playoffs, right? That's kind of how I would feel. I really would, but I would go, oh, my gosh, watch out for the future, because I do think Miami's building something special, and I think you're right with the Tua thing. I don't ever like to put it all on the quarterback, but where I just put it on Tua here to your point is, you know, they won so many games last year in a way where they had to manage the quarterback and manage the game perfectly. The defense had to play great. The special teams had to play great. Flores had those great blitzes he had for a while there. Remember where they went through that stretch of like Sean McVay and the Rams and everybody was flustered by some of the things they were doing? It's just too hard to win like that on a week-to-week basis in the NFL. And that's where the quarterback can take pressure off of all of that to where, okay, not everything has to be exactly perfect every week. And if Tua can do that, then I say, whoa, watch out, and Miami will be for real and in the playoffs.
And remember, if they would get Deshaun Watson, whoever gets him, he's looking at a suspension. Even if all the cases get resolved, the criminal investigation ends, he's still looking at something. And people around the league are thinking 4 to 6 games. So they'd have to get through that tough stretch to start the season without him. And who knows when they would even work him into the mix in 2021 if they end up trading for him. But whether it's this year or next year, they continue to be on that short list of teams that may end up with him, and that would change everything in Miami if it would happen.
So we got some love. For most part of our team, they really liked it. They didn't like the running back group. They are still questionable on the quarterback, which, yeah, rookie quarterback going into his second year, you know, did all right. Didn't do great. Didn't do horrible. We see what he can do. But for the most part, offensive line, wide receiver, defensive, the defense in a whole got a ton of love. So that's very surprising to me. When they said that the Dolphins, you know, will trade or potentially trade for Watson this year, I don't think, and, you know, I've said this time and time again. I said this, if he doesn't get traded by the draft, he isn't going to get traded this year. I don't think he gets traded this year. So for the people that do want Deshaun Watson here, you might have to wait until 2022. And for me, see what Tua can do this year. If all of a sudden he steps up big, doubles his numbers, wins us multiple games, we're in the playoffs, Tua, you know, is doing fantastic, throwing for around 4,000 yards, 20 touchdowns, 25 touchdowns, then you kind of don't need Deshaun Watson. You can kind of keep your 2 firsts. You can kind of keep your first and your other picks and build more. So we'll see how that pans out. But be sure to comment below. Let me know if you like me doing these reaction videos. Let me know if you want me to do more. I have a ton of other videos I want to do reactions to. If you know any videos you'd like me to do reactions to, comment that below. And what do you think about what they had to say? And what do you think about the June 1st cuts? Comment below. I already got to comment of the day in the beginning. But, you know, I got I think a cool video planned for you guys on Friday where I'm breaking down a mythbuster, Miami Dolphin mythbuster. And yes, it does involve Tua. It does involve Tua, a myth surrounding him that I hear constantly on Twitter, in the comment section, all over the place on Facebook, that needs to be busted. It's a myth, and is it true or is it false? I did a ton of research, a ton of all that stuff, so Check that video out Friday. Other than that, if news breaks and the Dolphins do sign somebody, restructure, give an extension, you'll get a video from me, probably straight from the phone. I want to get to you ASAP. Be sure to check out Patch Vibes. Use the promo code DDW. You get yourself 20% off on some fantastic patches, t-shirts, all that good stuff. Check out Miami Sports Music. If you watch TD's collab, me, TD, Steven are part of Miami Sports Music, so be sure to check him out. Hit that subscribe button on their channel. Other than that, I'll see you guys on Friday. But like usual, stay classy. Fins up.